that person whose needs are very less, and if he has more to spare, he is rich. Even when compared to others in the worldly matters, he or she is not rich. For somebody else who have very high needs and they have a lot, yet all their needs are not being met, they may think that they are not rich enough because there is still more to spare that they don't have. How are you richer than the others? Maybe in your immediate society, maybe in your immediate community, maybe among those people who you know or those who know you. So to be richer than the others, you need to have a strong second house. Second house is the money in the bank, that is your accumulated money. And second house is also the house of your community, those people who know you, those people who are in your tribe, those people who you connect on a day-to-day basis. So to be richer than the others and to be acknowledged by them to be rich or richer than them, you need to have a very strong second house, good benefits in the second house, maybe an exalted second lord or very well placed second lord, a very strong lagna. If you are not having a strong lagna, how will people acknowledge you as richer than them or rich in the community? And then you need to have a strong fifth house. The fifth house needs to be strong because fifth house is the house of gains. It is the house of intermediate gains. May not be the house of the largest gain, the biggest gains, but big gains. And fifth house is also ruled by sun. Sun is also your respect, your prestige, acknowledgement of others. So if you have a strong second house and second lord, if you have a very strong lagna, by virtue of which you have standing in society, is more or less guaranteed that people will respect you. You have a strong fifth house of gains and you have a strong sun, then more or less you can say that you will be richer, at least amongst your social circle, among those people that you are working in and who you will be connecting on a day-to-day basis. Then what placements in your astrological placements will make you rich? That will be able to, through which you will be able to afford more or less all the riches in life, which means if you want to buy a luxury car, you should be able to buy. If you want to buy a mansion, 3 million, 4 million, 10 million mansion somewhere like celebrities buy, you should be able to buy. Then for that, usually you will see that such people who are very rich, they don't have money more in the bank because then there is a tax levied on it. Such people will have their money in assets. These assets will be in the form of houses, usually property, big value property, which so they may have 3-4 properties in 3-4 places around the world, which gives them the liquidity, spreads the risk, and each one of those property may be 10 million, 15 million, 20 million dollars, or maybe more. Plus they will have stocks, they will have jewelry, so they have these kinds of assets. Maybe they will have a plane, their own plane. John Travolta, I know, has a 747. So they will have that, and they may have large parcels of land in many countries around the world, and they will have investments in share market or some businesses. So your fourth house has to be very strong, your lagna has to be very strong, the ninth house has to be very strong. The ninth house is the larger house or the bigger house of gains, even bigger than the fifth house, and the ninth house is the house of your fate and luck. So through your fate and luck, you become rich, you create assets of the fourth house, and you acknowledged by your community, by the society, maybe by more people than just your community, that you are very rich and you can afford everything in life, whatever you want to have. And you also need to have a strong Venus. Without a strong Venus, you won't be able to have that luxury lifestyle. You won't be able to buy the houses that you want to buy, you won't be able to buy the jewelry that you want to buy, you won't be able to buy the cars, the luxury cars, and you will not be able to have the finer taste in life to be able to earn and accumulate those kinds of riches. So a strong lagna lord, fourth house has to be very strong, ninth house, ninth lord has to be very strong, Venus has to be very strong. If these are strong, generally you will be ending up as someone who has been given the potential to be very rich, if not a guarantee. Then how do you end up becoming the richest? To be the richest, you need at least 5 very strong placements to be counted among the top 5% of the world, to be counted amongst the richest. For these, the placements of your lagna lord should be very strong. Then Venus has to be very strong, or Jupiter or Rahu or Sun. Out of these 4, at least 2 of them have to be super strong, and then your 11th house and 4th house have to be very, very strong. If these are strong, then you can end up, all the potential is given to be very, very rich or super rich or the richest. So if the 4th house is very strong, you will make a lot of assets. 11th house is very strong. 11th house is the largest house of gains, societal gains, which means you will have assets which are larger, bigger than most of the masses which the 11th house represents. The 11th house represents beyond your national boundaries, which means you could be not only the richest in your country, but you could also be counted as the richest in the world. So a very strong Lagna to be acknowledged as the richest. 4th house has to be very strong to have multiple assets around the world, which the 11th house represents. That means across the masses you should be able to make large gains, huge gains. Across continents you should be able to make, across countries you should be able to make those gains. And out of these 4 planets, Sun, Jupiter, Venus and Rahu, 2 of them have to be super strong. One of them, if it's exalted, even better. And you should hit the right dasha period. So if you hit the dasha period of any of these, other dasha periods may also be good, but the dasha periods which may give you the huge gains, may astound you with money, power, influence, will be Sun, Rahu, Venus and Jupiter. Out of these, if Sun and Rahu come together, the gains, the riches can come through political power. If Rahu and Venus comes together, it could be through IT or social media, or coming up with something through which your reach across the world is huge, or super rich products, super fine products of rich taste like planes, cars, luxury brands. If Rahu and Jupiter is very good, they are very strong together, then you will be able to make money as an expert in some field. You will be the best. Through that you will be able to climb to the top. Sun and Venus coming together through arts, you can be a celebrity singer, you can be a celebrity dancer, a model. Through that you end up becoming a billionaire, you can end up becoming the top of the world. Especially if you start your own organization, a company, a music company for example, or a television network for example, like the CNN, the Rupert Murdochs of the world. Rahu and Jupiter connected together very strong, you can end up becoming somebody like an Elon Musk. Rahu and Venus together, you can become somebody like a Mark Zuckerberg. Rahu and Mercury together, you can end up becoming somebody like a Bill Gates also. So depending on what are the combination that you have, if you have the strong Lagna, 4th house very strong, 11th house very strong, and out of these planets, 2 of them very strong, and if you hit the dasha of any of these 4 planets and a good dasha without any influences, without any bad doshas, without any malefics coloring the strength of these planets, then you can be super rich also. The only outlier to this is, this also has to be defended by, complemented by, supported by your D9 placements as well. Even in your D9 house, even in your D9 chart, the same houses should be very strong, the same planet should also be very strong. They should all be in good yogas. If you are able to do this, then you have a tendency, you have a potential, you have the power to be either be the rich, the Richhh or the richest. So friends, like this video, share this video, and if you are looking for a personal consultation from me, please reach out to me, the link is given below. Till some other time in some other video, this is your friend Astrology and Guide Irfan signing off. Ciao.